They all say this about Holly Rowe, and it's like, if you want something to not get out, do not say it to Holly Rowe, because Holly Rowe will... Anything said in confidence to Holly Rowe will be spread. You can assume that Holly Rowe will spread literally anything. But it says here, she also pursued some noteworthy. Stephanie White did tell us there will be even more cautious with her return to play this time.
ESPN recently offered a detailed update during its broadcast coverage on Caitlin Clark's anticipated return, with Robin Lundberg providing new insights. According to the network, Clark could potentially return by the third week of August, around August 15th. This estimate aligns closely with earlier projections that had suggested August 10th as a likely target. The Indiana Fever star has faced a difficult rookie season, marked by several physical setbacks, with the latest being a right groin strain. Clark has now missed 4 consecutive games because of this injury, though her teammates managed to earn a significant win over the Chicago Sky during her absence on Sunday. That game, which aired nationally on ABC, served as a platform for ESPN to update viewers on Clark's rehabilitation. During the broadcast, ESPN's Holly Rowe shared exclusive information, emphasizing that anything she reports typically becomes public knowledge due to her reputation for accurate and transparent reporting. Clark previously dealt with a groin injury on her left side earlier in the season. At that time, the team rushed her back into action after just one full practice on a Monday. Before she played in a game on Tuesday, a decision now seen as insufficient preparation. In light of that experience, the Fever planned to take a more cautious approach this time. Head coach Stephanie White indicated that the organization wants to give Clark adequate time to regain her rhythm and on-court timing with her teammates through multiple practice sessions before returning to competition. With her health status being monitored daily, ESPN suggested the third week of August as a realistic comeback window, which conveniently aligns with a favorable portion of Indiana's schedule that would ease her return. Initially, many thought Clark might return as early as the August 10th matchup against the Sky, but her team and ESPN analysts now suggest that may be too soon. The Fever's demanding schedule games every 2 days makes it difficult for Clark to string together the consecutive practices she reportedly wants before returning to the court. The team plays on Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, followed by games on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, with the August 10th matchup against the Sky falling within that stretch. After that game, Indiana enjoys a brief 2-day break Sunday and Monday before their next contest on Tuesday. This schedule, with its brief rest periods and home game concentration, provides valuable practice opportunities. The Fever will be playing the Sky, Wings, and Mystics at home during this span, making it an ideal window for Clark's return. The team is unlikely to bring her back during their subsequent road trip, given the travel demands and limited practice time that would come with it. That upcoming 4-5-game Western road trip presents logistical challenges that would disrupt her recovery process. With multiple games scheduled on the West Coast, the strain of travel and the difficulty of maintaining a consistent rehab routine would make it unrealistic for Clark to rejoin the team during that stretch. Instead, the team is expected to keep her home to focus entirely on recovery. A more practical timeline would see her begin practice after August 10th, potentially returning to game action on either August 13th or 16th. That schedule would allow her to participate in the final 11 games of the regular season, giving her time to return to form ahead of a possible postseason run. Although fans in cities on the Western Swing may miss seeing her play in person, prioritizing her health and long-term durability is the right decision. Clark is unlikely to travel with the team for the West Coast games, as 2 of them involve significant travel distance. Given the lack of practice time during that stretch, the Fever will likely have her stay behind to rehab and train in Indianapolis. The plan would see her begin engaging in limited shoot-around or 5-on-5 activities. By the time the team returns home after the road trip, it's unlikely that she'll play in the Hypofal CBS Saturday game against the Sky, but might make her comeback during the following matchups against the Wings or Mystics. ESPN's timeline projection aligns well with this plan, and the organization appears focused on ensuring Clark doesn't return prematurely. While her groin strain typically wouldn't require a full month of recovery, the Fever's cautious approach reflects the accumulation of her recent injuries and the need to protect her from further setbacks. By returning for the final 11 games, Clark would have just enough time to re-establish her rhythm while preparing for potential playoff competition. The team's primary concern isn't simply healing her current injury, as she may have already physically recovered. Instead, they want to minimize the risk of re-injury and ensure she's in optimal condition for high-stakes postseason play. The Fever's performance in her absence has also influenced this strategy. They've demonstrated the ability to remain competitive, which reduces the urgency to rush Clark back into action. If Clark does return for the August 16th game, she'll have time to help guide the Fever through the remainder of their schedule. Assuming the team goes 2-3 during the challenging road trip, they would still sit one game above .500 heading into the Sky matchup. A win there highly possible, even without Clark would re-establish a 2-game cushion above .500. That, in turn, would allow flexibility during the following games against the Wings and Mystics, knowing they are likely to win at least one of those with Clark back. Even if she requires a few games to get back into peak form, the Fever could close the season strong and retain favorable playoff positioning, possibly with a key win over the Sun. This recovery window and return plan appear to be the best-case scenario. The injury itself doesn't typically require a month of downtime, but the Fever's medical staff and coaches are wisely considering the broader context of Clark's rookie season, including her previous injuries and the physical toll of a packed schedule. Strategically, sitting out the entire road trip allows Clark to focus solely on rehab, skip long travel days, and re-enter play under controlled conditions at home. This decision not only supports her personal performance, but also benefits the team's long-term ambitions. If the Fever finish the regular season with a 24-20 record, they would likely land a 4th or 5th seed in the playoffs. That would help them avoid the more volatile 6, 7, 8 seed matchups. With that seeding, they could face teams like the Atlanta Dream or Seattle Storm, which present more favorable matchups than the top-seeded Aces. For this reason, protecting Clark's health now could pay off later with a deeper playoff push. Clark's presence, paired with consistent contributors like Kelsey Mitchell and Aaliyah Boston, could elevate Indiana to legitimate championship contention. During Clark's absence, Kelsey, Mitchell, and others have stepped up. While the Fever starters showed some struggles, players like Rachel Banham hit clutch shots and kept the team competitive in close contests. Like the recent win over Chicago, that game, while frustrating for Sky fans, did show growth for Indiana. If you're a Sky fan, it might be hard to accept, but when your team is struggling as much as theirs is, even close losses can be seen as moral victories. The Fever, on the other hand, proved they can grind out wins without their superstar, showcasing resilience and depth. In conclusion, the Indiana Fever are approaching Caitlin Clark's recovery with careful intention. They are managing her minutes, monitoring her progress daily, and using the schedule wisely to create a smooth path back to competition. The conservative strategy prioritizes long-term success over short-term fanfare. By keeping her sidelined for the demanding road stretch and aiming for a mid-August return during a favorable homestand, the organization is doing right by their franchise player. And when Clark does come back, she returned to a team that's battle-tested, deeper, and more prepared than ever.